Yes, I all recall that recently we have seen ZANU PF coming out to say, well, the Harare City Council was not doing enough in terms of service delivery. They were saying, well, they're just collecting revenue, they're just collecting fees, but they're not doing anything in the city. And we also know the main issue also was about roads, okay, road maintenance, which they say, well, they were collecting money and nothing was being done. But here we saw a mayor of Harare coming out to say, well, we don't collect the money is collected by Zinara. And here I'm going to share with you what he said, during a meeting with the media.
The issue of waste management has become a topical issue in Harare. Our council has committed itself to dealing with the issue of waste management. As you know, we inherited a waste management model from 1980 or from the colonial era, which was based on landfills, which was based on an ecosystem which necessitated the upliftment of waste of whatever kind, without separating it, without recycling it, without dealing with it in any shape, manner or form, and dumping it at a dump site. As you can see, many areas have been landfills. We used to deal with the Golden Quarry landfill, and until recently we are taking our waste to Pomona, and we take it in the main without any management, and in most cases it is then managed or sorted by informal groups and other private companies at the Pomona dump site. So that is a conventional model of solid waste management. This management style is hindered by the financial constraints that we have as a city, a number of other constraints, employment, misplaced priorities. As you know, in the recent past we are arguing on how to use Pomona with the government and other sectors, and this has triggered widespread illegal dumps. And I feel, I see the deputy mayor is here as well. I did not acknowledge him earlier. It's okay. And this has triggered a number of dump sites that have affected our high density suburbs, namely Highfield, Glenora, Glenview, Budiriro, Mufakosi, Kuadzana, Dzwarasekwa, Mabuku, Tafara, Hartcliffe, and also to extend low density suburbs of Waterfalls, Hartfield, among others. We've also had other settlements that are still to be regularized that have contributed to the emergence of dump sites. We are unable to offer services to these settlements until they are regularized. And therefore we have to think outside the box to come up with the new methodologies. And as a council, we committed ourselves to coming up in our previous council and last year to coming up with the program that complements the efforts of central government that have issued a national cleaning day, which I understand is once every last Friday of the month. We, however, see that that is not enough. As a city, we need to augment and complement all efforts to clean the city and to clean the country that are being spearheaded by central government, by the communities and ourselves. So we have committed resources to a program that we are calling Chenesa, Operation Chenesa Harare. This program will run for a period of 3 weeks with effect from Tuesday, 28th of February 2023. Now the essence and basic facts of this community-based solid waste management system is that it recognizes the role of communities in terms of participating in their cleanups and also behavioral changes. And what we need is to place the citizens and the communities at the center of our waste collection model. It gives people control over their environment to participate, maintain and improve its aesthetic value. The role of local communities is to practice sanitary behavior, achieving by keeping households and surroundings clean and storing waste in a designated bin container. And other roles of local people include resource recovery actions and participation both in consultation, in administration and management of solid waste that we have. The city currently collects solid waste once in 2 weeks in all the industrial, high density and low density areas, while in central business district, Mbare markets, waste is collected every day. In other words, Harare City Council is no longer providing adequate service within the central business district, industrial and the surrounding residential areas. Hence, the need to adopt the CBSW model or the Chenesa Harare operation model. Our service split is overstretched. There is low frequency of waste collection that then gives rise to dumping in open spaces, public drains, streams along the roads, and also open waste burning. There has been rapid growth of the city, urban crawl, and we also need to then match this rapid growth. A lot of people are coming to Harare in search of better economic opportunities, living conditions, and urbanization. This has even led to some rural district councils naming themselves as being in Harare. Jimba, Boromonzi, and so forth have built settlements on the borders of the city of Harare, exacerbating the collection of waste. So we therefore need to respond to this situation organically and with innovative methodologies. So we will need the local communities to participate. The local communities will participate in the following manner: removal and transportation of solid waste from dumps in the communities to disposal site, drain clearance, transportation of the waste therefore to disposal site, separation of waste, transportation of solid waste, and composting of organic waste. The compost generated by the community serves as organic fertilizer, and this reduces the amount of organic matter disposed at Pomona disposal site. Most importantly, participation by local communities in management will convert solid waste from being a burden to being a resource. We have also been fortunate to have the private sector coming to participate in this program. The following skip points have been adopted by several recyclers, where they are going to practice separation of waste at source and bringing sanity to the areas. Market Square has been adopted by the recycling ladies led by Mrs. Wazara. Copacabana by Recycling Today. Charge Office by National Waste Collection. 4th Street, Simon Mzenda Street by Zimbabwe Sunshine Group led by Mr. Roni Mbaiwa. Other recyclers will be incorporated into the program as it continues. These recyclers will develop standard infrastructure, a cleaner and more aesthetic way of separating the waste, and they will work with our people to design a system that at least does not lead to these places looking like rubbish dumps themselves. There will also be enforcement of anti-litter bylaws by the municipal police and the finding of shops without requisite number of bins. Now, what we are going to do is that we do have municipal bylaws that deal with the issue of littering. Other cities have got police that follow you on motorbikes. If it is Rwanda, if you throw a piece of paper outside your car or whatever transportation, or you drop it, they will follow you and fine you to make sure that you do not do that again. We are going to be reforming and rebranding our municipal police into a metropolitan tourism police. Our police has been called the municipal police for quite a period of time. We will be discussing with our chamber secretary that we need to rebrand the municipal police within the confines of the law to become a metropolitan tourism police force. Now this police force will ensure that there is order, discipline and cleanliness in the city of Harare. We shall be endeavoring to capacitate them to be able to follow people who litter day and night. We do understand that at times when we take drastic measures, people complain. But however, we can no longer continue with the behavior that we have seen, where people burn maize cobs in the city, throw litter everywhere willy-nilly, and expect someone else to come and pick it up. People throw litter outside moving cars, people deposit litters elsewhere. We will be taking a very tough stance against such. And we want to be clear on this one so that we will not have dissonance with the public. We will not have people clogging our WhatsApp groups, our social media handles once the fines and the Metro Police start arresting people on these issues. Zimbabwe or Harare is the gateway to Zimbabwe, and therefore people should be able to have a sunshine feel and an aesthetic feel. I will address also this issue in relation to what's happening with parking. We have moved in to be a bit tougher with the issues of parking in terms of clamping down on illegal parking, obstructive parking, and many other forms of parking that are not conducive to a modern city. We would want the motoring public to note that it is very difficult. The traffic jams, the traffic congestions have become life-threatening, they have become business hindering, they have become a problem in the city. And therefore we have to come up with robust mechanisms to be able to deal with the congestion that is bedeviling the city of Harare. So therefore the municipal police, or what we are calling the Metropolitan Tourism Police of Harare, will be rebranded accordingly and will act tough on issues around litter. The city is the initiator and facilitator that is essentially promoting, cooperating and collaborating with partnership in waste management between communities, NGOs and the private sector. In this regard, this program will be run by each of the district officers of the city of Harare in liaising with community leaders. And the city is committed to providing support to the 3-week Operation Chenesa Harare. The success depends on the participation of local communities, private sector, and the civic society. We are therefore urging everyone to rally with the program. The role of communities in managing their own waste cannot be understated, and we all also support it. So we have instructed all our district officers, together with all our ward councillors, to have stakeholders meetings with the business communities and so forth. We are going to be committing fuel to every district office. We are going to be committing $1,000 a week to every district office. We are going to be committing material. This is a sample of the materials we are going to be committing to each district office. The brooms, the work suits for volunteers. So there will be lunch, there will be small allowances, right, offered to the volunteers or to the activities on the ground. We will also be asking for those that are able to give us heavy machinery. We are working with PRAS to get the necessary exemption in terms of us being able to hire community trucks, community front-end loaders. It is very expensive to follow the PRAS route to hire trucks. I must underscore that PRAS is an organization that is going to cripple this country. It is an organization that is going to cripple all efforts to manage things properly. To be able to hire, to be able to contract is a difficult and a near impossible mission. You have to follow a lot of procedures that end up making you buy things at a more expensive trucks. For us to be able to hire trucks for a 3-week period, it was going to end up costing us 1.1 million US dollars, which money we do not have. So what we are going to do, while we sort out our issue with PRAS to try and get the necessary exemption to be able to hire the tipper trucks that are there in the community, the front-end loaders that are there in the community. We will urge those that are able to assist us. We will be able to provide fuel to some of them if they are able to come to this program, and we've asked the district officers and the local councillors to work that out, so that at least by the end of the 3-week period, we will have contracted and we will have dealt with the bulk of the rubbish dumps. We have 610 illegal dump sites in the city that we have mapped, and these are the 610 dump sites that we hope to get rid of, and then we will then continue with a sustainable program to deal with the rubbish. We do have the following equipment. I noticed that at some meeting, Emma got excited after buying 3 trucks and some tractor, and said that they will then be able to carry all the rubbish in Harare. That is impossible. But we, however, are committed to sitting down with Emma to come up with a robust and a more coherent program to clean up the rubbish. In stock, we have 30 compactors that should be operational. We have 3 front-end loaders. We have 7 tipper trucks. We have 10 skip trucks. And we have 1 skid steer. And then you can see some of the equipment, the excavators that we've bought and the lorries that we've bought to add to the equipment that we have. But still, this equipment is not enough to deal with the rubbish. We need an additional 20 compactors, of which we have 15 that are stuck in South Africa. We have 15 that are stuck in South Africa because the Reserve Bank is not giving us the foreign currency to pay. We paid the Zim dollar component some time ago to the supplier, but getting the forex has been like extracting teeth from the Reserve Bank. It's a difficult process and evidently painful, but we will continue to engage them so that those compactors can be brought into Harare. We need an additional 2 front-end loaders, and we need an additional 10 tipper trucks. We need an additional 5 skid steers. We need an additional skip trucks 10. An order requiring forex, again, we need tipper trucks 30, additional 10 compactors, 10 hook loaders, which are 3 skid steers that are 5, and transfer station 10 that we are currently contracting. Now, these infrastructure and equipment are things that we have placed an order for, but we are in the queue to get forex, and we hope that the legislators for Harare, the Reserve Bank, and whoever is also involved in the process of giving us foreign currency can understand the urgency of the situation, so that we are able to at least alleviate the people of Harare from the rubbish, which can cause disease and generally creates a not so beautiful city. So these are the equipment requirements that we have. We have an establishment of how many staff? And on site how many? 1.1. So we need an establishment of 1,300 staff members to be able to deal with these issues, for us to be able to adequately cover the whole city. We do not have that full complement at the present moment, and therefore we have to stretch with whatever we need. But however, we are going to be launching this program called Chenesa Harare. It's going to run for this initial period of 3 weeks. It's going to be an intensive program. Our finance department has assured us that it has set aside the local resources that we require to deal with this program, in terms of fuel, in terms of cash, in terms of the equipment that is needed, and also the other equipment that we should be able to hire and get on board. As a city, we are committed to make sure that the city restores its status as the Sunshine City, as a clean city, just as much as we are dealing with other projects. On other things that we are doing as a city, we will be scheduling a State of the City address for the beginning of the year, probably next week. Once we do that, we will then be able to provide a detailed report on what we are doing on the issue of water, on the issue of roads, on the issue of sporting facility, on the issues of clinics, on the issues of other compliance issues and other service delivery issues. But for today, I thought we should focus on these issues of drain cleaners. We also require, last but not least, I'll talk to it briefly because it has become topical. The issue of roads is squarely a problem of Zinara, which has a chairman called, what is the name of the chairman of Zinara? Who is the chairman of Zinara? No one knows his name. The chairman, George Manya, yes. The chairman of Zinara, called George Manyaya, Panenyaya, the man is dedicated to making sure that there are no roads in this country. We do not know what George Manyaya and his executives are doing with our money. Every month they get at the minimum of $20 from the motorists. They get that money, and last year we believe there are 800,000 motorists in Harare. They got $64 million. They only gave us $2 million, which we have acquitted, and I will make the acquittal public. They have taken the rest of the 62 million, and they've done that for the past 5 years. They are now claiming that there are only 200,000 cars in Harare. Even if there are 200,000 cars, we should be getting $14 million from this Manyaya chap. Now this Manyaya chap has gone anonymous. He does not speak. He does not update the public. We don't know where the money is going, and yet he collects money from the motorists, and everyone has bad roads every day. So we should be launching a court application so that we are able to get our money from Mr. George Manyaya of Zinara, whom I'm told is an engineer. It is a terrible state of affairs because we pay the money, and as a city we are not getting that money. And I thought I should reiterate and repeat this for the benefit of the audience. And I'm willing to go before any parliamentary committee, to go before any platform to say that we are not receiving the money that is required for us to be able to do the roads. But today, I think let us launch this Chenesa Harare program, which is a program that is effectively in our control, and I therefore officially launch this program and hope that with the cooperation of the stakeholders and the resources that we invested and the complementary to the national programs, we should be able to move and get a clean city within the next 3-week period. I thank you.